Is going to be how to register someone for 1,000 books before kindergarten on Beanstack. So you would use this if someone has never used Beanstack before for summer reading, okay? So if someone comes in and says, I've never used Beanstack. I just want to sign up for 1,000 books before kindergarten. We no longer will be using the Excel spreadsheet. You will just sign them in using Beanstack. So the first thing that you would do is sign in MStaff just to double check to make sure that they are not in Beanstack already. So you've done that. You've determined, okay, we need to register them. So I'm just going to go through a mock registration of what that looks like, just to kind of show you the 1,000 books log from the patron side. Okay, so no, I've never used Beanstack before. I am adult registering a child because for 1,000 books, the child is 0 to 6. Okay, so I've kind of gone through and pre-filled this a little bit, but as you can see, I'm putting my name. The username is going to be A. Clausen because the child is Ada, my new niece. So I'm using that username. This, as you remember from past Beanstack trainings, Tabitha suggested always using the first letter and the last name. They don't have to do that, but that's what we suggest. And right now with COVID, unless they're going to register on their device there by themselves, they will need your help, and you obviously don't want them touching the computer at this point for passwords and usernames. So you can write down on a piece of paper, this is your username, and then same with the password down here, which we'll get to that. But the first thing under username is make sure that they have an email. That's very important for the end of the year party when we send out invitations to the graduation party. So that is just an important step. So really suggest that. In terms of a password, I suggest doing Beanstack and having them change it later because, again, we don't want them touching the computer. And it's not too hard to go in and change your password after. So I went through and filled this in. Her name's Ada. Let's say she's 3 years old and in preschool. And it's not applicable. Okay, so we have Ada's profile created. Now, as you can see, this is the exact same way to register for summer reading. So this up here, this gilborden.beanstack.org Reader 365, that's the exact same place as summer reading. So you don't need to memorize a new spot. You can still go to just the Beanstack link from our website or from our intranet. And what's great about this is if it's the summertime, Ada's mom would be able to see, oh, wow, there's 2 things that I could register for. Not only is there 1,000 books before kindergarten, the thing that I came here for, but there's also the summer reading. I could do that too. So I really like that feature. Right now, this is an ongoing program, as you can see. This one is just a very time specific, so which ends soon, obviously. So you'd be able to see that this is always ongoing. It's only an option for ages 0 to 6, though. So if you're an elementary student, it won't pop up. So let's register. Yay, we've registered. The badge is unlocked. So we're going to go next. We don't want to add another child, but we could at a later point. And I'm not going to be reading, so no. Great, we're all set up. Now we're going to see what the log looks like. And you know what's also great is I can still register for that summer reading if I want to. Or if we ever did a winter reading, all they'd have to do is sign in for their 1,000 books logging, and they would see, wow, there's another challenge that I could do right now. So we're going to go to that challenge so you can see what it looks like. I really like that Google can translate this if you want. That just popped up there. You can do Google Translate, but it is also just in both languages already below. So as you can see, We've modified this language a little bit just to make it a little bit more streamlined. Um, so the basic premise is exactly the same. We can't do the activities or celebrations right now, so for every 100 books, it's just a prize due to having to be touchless. So they can bring their device or their paper log to the Early Learning Center or any branch. And then you get their final prize and the graduation. I did mention that you do not have to pick up your prizes every single 100 books. You can just read several hundred and receive them at once. So that's just something to note. And then thanks to Grisel, we got it translated into Spanish. And then at the very bottom, you can see how many you've completed so far. So you can always go back to this home page. I think it's called Overview. And that's where you see just the general program and how far along you are. Then the rest of the log looks, you can see what, these are just the badge. These are not the logging badges. This is simply you've registered, and then this is the trigger badge for when you're done. The logging badges are actually really cool. As you see, there are fox and eagle, or eagle, owl, and these little corner icons mean that there's a prize attached. So there's a prize for every 100 books, and I will show you in a second that each one is attached to a specific prize. There's also a halfway done and an almost done, and then 1,000 books. So a couple more fun badges along the way, and Prad designed those. And this is where you can see what badges you've earned, which is only one right now. But here is the rewards. So a customer can look in their rewards section to see what they are going to get. And instead of, you know, you come in, you pick a prize, and the kids are there, and it's kind of, you know, the basket's waiting, and it takes a lot of time, and some kids don't like the prizes, and they're shifting through, and there's lots of germs. We just decided to do a specific prize tied to a specific number of books. So thank you to Tanya, who has redone the 1,000 books cart and has matched like 100 books to a bookmark and 200 books to a mini stuffed animal. They are very similar to the prizes we already had. We just organized it, and we added a couple more. So we had the rubber ducks. We're going to get some bubbles, stampers, and coloring books. But other than that, we still have the coupons, we still have the bag, the tattoos, the ducks, the tote bag. So, you know, over the upcoming year, we're hoping that it just works a little bit better, and hopefully it's a little cheaper than reordering a ton of new things all the time. So that is just something that you can mention, like, oh, look at that you can incentivize your child. Oh, next thing we get is a tote bag for our books. Wow. And then once they've read 100 books, they'll see that they've already received this award. This is where you just see the details of every session. So if a reader is like, I don't know how to log, I don't understand how to put any books in, you always tell them to go to this top left green bubble, log reading and activities. So we are going to log books because that is what program we are registered for, is the 1,000 books. Now, if a customer were registered for both summer reading and 1,000 books, it would say, would you like to log books or minutes? And minutes would be tied to the summer reading program, right? Because that's how we do it there. Books are tied to 1,000 books before kindergarten. So that's just something to remember, that when they are logging for 1,000 books, you always want to log books. Now, okay, so here's the logging reading. It's what you want to do is choose the day. So today is the 19th. And then how many books did we read today? Let's say we read for half an hour and we read 10 books. Wow. We don't have to put the title. You can if you want, but obviously 10 books, that's a lot of books. So yay, you've read 10 books. We're going to log it, and look it's all logged. And then, you know, if you read more throughout the day later in the afternoon, you can log more and more. You can log retroactively also. So, oh, look, now her log says, well, we didn't record what it is, but she had a reading session. Great. And then when you go to the overview, it will say, oh, there's the Google Translate again. And I know that's not perfect, but it's something. Now it says, okay, I've completed 10 books. Now let's try it again, and I'll tell you what it looks like when you get a prize. So let's say today we decided to read 90 more books. Wow, that's a lot of books. We read all day. So we're going to log our 90 books. And then, oh, look, a badge is unlocked. 100 books earned, 100 points earned. Please visit the Early Learning Center at Main Library or Help Desk at Braco or South Elgin Bench to pick up your bookmark. Great. So that's what it will look like from the customer side. They'll get a message and a badge every single time a prize pops up. So that is the basics for how it looks on the customer side and how you can help them. You can also go into these features, which we haven't really done before, but you can put them on a wish list and you can get recommendations. Now, I don't necessarily like these because we don't always know if we have them. But like the apps, that's really cool. So you can go in these and show them the different things that Beanstack recommends, but you don't have to. So that is it. The main thing to remember is when you register for someone, you have to make sure that you are on the customer side. Make sure you are not signed in to MStaff. That is only for when you, as a staff member, will be logging for them and need to finish them with their prizes, which there will be another video attached. This is only when you are registering someone for Beanstack for the first time. All right. Thanks for watching.